What if genius isn't something you're born with? What if it's a leverage ratio? And what if anyone could build it if they understood how it actually works? We look at genius as a disproportionate return between input and output. Someone puts in 1 unit of effort and gets back 10 units of result. They see connections nobody else sees. They solve problems faster. They produce things that seem to come from somewhere the rest of us don't have access to. And we look at that and say they were born that way. Natural talent, just wired differently. But that's the output. We're not seeing what happened before the output. Early reps, the return is low. You put in 10 units and get back 2. It's not failure, that's the beginning of every compounding curve, but something happens after enough reps. The pattern recognition deepens. Your brain has enough data that it starts making connections automatically, faster with less effort, across more territory. The same input that used to produce 2 units of output starts producing 5, then 10, then returns that look from the outside like they couldn't possibly have come from normal human effort. The ratio flipped. Not because the person changed, because they accumulated enough reps to hit the leverage inflection point. That's what genius looks like from the inside. Not magic, not inheritance. A ratio that compounded past the point where it became visible from the outside. Most people never hit it. They stop before the flip. And the brutal part is you can't see the inflection point coming from before it. You're in the low return phase, putting in work, not getting proportionate results back, and nothing tells you that you're 3 reps from the ratio changing. So you conclude, I'm just not built for this, not talented enough, this isn't mine, and you leave right before the leverage kicks in. Here's what changes when you understand the mechanic. You stop asking, am I talented enough? You start asking, have I put in enough reps to hit the inflection point? Those are completely different questions and they produce completely different behavior. The first question is about what you were given, fixed, outside your control. The second is about where you are on the curve, a location, not a verdict. And if it's a location, you can move, not by being smarter, not by working harder in the early reps, just by staying long enough for the leverage to build. Genius is not born. It is a leverage ratio that builds after enough reps that the return stops being proportionate. Anyone can build it. The only question is whether you stay in it long enough for the ratio to flip, and most people don't. Not because they can't, because they leave during the low return phase and call it talent they never had. You had it. You just didn't stay long enough to see it.